Well, of course, a lot of the newly unemployed will be youth, especially given the hospitality and tourism sector impact that we're having, which had a lot of people in there. So we're still trying to get a grip on the impact sector by sector. There are some where it's more immediately obvious, and there are others, I think, where the consequences will emerge over time. So we do have we are taking an active labour market approach to this, and saying, okay, let's look at the kind of the skill sets and the geographical locations where you do have particular spikes in unemployment. What are things that we can quickly redeploy those people on? So we were really pleased. There was a headline on Tuesday, I think, which was in Gisborne, where it was talking about forestry workers going back to work, not because they were doing their old job, but because they were moving into things like wilding pine control and that sort of thing. So there was a direct transferability, and there was an aid package that we moved on very quickly, because actually forestry was one of the very early sectors where there was a significant downturn. We could see there was a very immediate impact, and we were able to move fairly quickly with that. So I think we'll see more examples of that kind of thing. Given that, so this is a personal theory rather than government policy, but given that there is going to be a very large spike in unemployment from tourism and, well, let me take them, from tourism and hospitality in particular, you can imagine where there might be areas where we could move reasonably quickly in deploying people. So in a lot of our tourism areas, or tourism hotspots, of course, in some of our areas of outstanding natural beauty, it wouldn't be too hard for us to start, gearing up for conservation, forestry, pest management control, those kinds of things where, we could move reasonably quickly, at least for a period of time, until new industries in the private sector become, available. And that's sort of what I mean between the wave 2 and wave 3. Like wave 2 is going to be very, I imagine, quite sort of, government programs to employ people doing things, whilst we rebuild the future shape of the economy, and then the private sector will kind of reabsorb those people. And in hospitality, kind of services, there'll be opportunities there as well. We know that we're pretty short of teachers and nurses in the country, and so that may be an area where we can work to kind of both build up a workforce that needs building up, but also there's a sort of at least a very basic transferability of the kind of person, and so on. But some of those things are going to take a little bit of time to put together. And in terms of the digital economy, well, that's one of the sectors that we're looking at. I don't want to say too much about that at the moment, but we are taking a sort of, we're both doing supply, looking at supply side and demand side measures as well. And so on the supply side stuff, this is what I was hinting at in terms of some of those long-term challenges. If you want to decarbonize your economy, you're talking about things like energy, transport, housing, actually, three waters infrastructure, fresh water. We've got quite a long list of things to do in the country.